Good evening and welcome to the Unprofessional Professional Sports Show. It is December 31st, folks, of 2025. Next day is next year. How about that? Yay. I'm enthusiastic.
Yay. Yay.
I hope you
the
fellas are
year's
doing
already
good.
gone.
Right. You know what? It seems to me like when you get older, the years go faster, which is not a good thing. When you're younger, it seems to pass by kind of slow, but when you get older, it's like
The hairs fall out faster too.
I mean, so this is the analogy I have, right? Life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer to the end you get, the faster it goes, and it's mostly just a lot of shit along the way.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
All right. And here we go with the unprofessional.
Hey, let's finish strong.
And that's right.
Yes, that's
strong
right.
in 2025. Yeah. Let's go out with a bang. Well, hopefully we don't get canceled, but go out with a bang. I hope
Cancel what, brother?
Right. I hope you guys are doing fine on this evening. A lot of sports, of course, at this time of the year. We have college football playoffs resuming today with number 10 Miami going against number 2 Ohio State at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. That's the first of the 4 games that are going to be. Tomorrow is going to be the 3 extras, which is the Oregon Ducks and the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and the Alabama Crimson Tide versus Indiana Hoosiers, and Ole Miss versus Georgia, and the Miami. Oh, we already did Miami. Okay, so that's the 3. And who you got in these games? I mean, there's been a lot of debate. Keith on his other show, he does a college show. He was thinking that Miami might upset Ohio State, but he's a Miami Hurricane fan, so there you go. So
Yeah,
you got for
the
I got Ohio State winning that.
Yeah, I think Ohio State's going to win that one. It might be a good game.
I mean,
but it's gonna...
I think the biggest thing, if Miami stands to have any chance in that game, Carson Beck has to have a game in his life, and I think there's some pieces there. There's some run, like they had a really good running game at the end of the Texas A&M game. Like they did a little bit better there, and Ruben Baines was playing with his hair on fire, and I think he's got those short arms, so he's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex on a defensive line. I mean, he's still an apex predator, but he got some baby arms, but he can play. He can play, man, and if he can get to the quarterback, and if they can have a good running game, because I know Ohio State, if we remember at the beginning of the season, Texas ran all over them, even though they did lose that game. They still ran all over Ohio State, and there's a little bit of a gap there in regards to the run defense. But I just don't see that happen. With that said, I think Ohio State's going to win this game, and they're probably going to win by 1 or 2 touchdowns.
I mean, to Keith's explanation why he thinks they're going to win, I mean, he has some good key points on there. Miami has 2 good bookends as defensive ends, really good ones. And that was what happened to them when they played Indiana. Indiana got OSU's quarterback for 5 sacks. Yeah. For 5 sacks, for 5 sacks. And that was like the most he's been sacked the whole. I don't think they've given up a sack, to tell you the truth, the whole season. And he got 5. They got 5 on him in that game. So and running the ball, I think that's something that Ohio State is weak at right now. They're not a very good team to stop, and they really haven't played anybody that has a good run game. So we'll see. I mean, it's possible. It's like any given Sunday in football. So never know.
Yeah.
It is that. And if you played them head to head 10 times, Ohio State probably wins 8 or 9 of them. Mm-hmm. So it'll just be if Miami can get it done that day, but Ohio State's the better team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. And hello there, Michael. Happy New Year to you, buddy. We have Oregon versus Texas Tech tomorrow. I like Texas Tech in this one. Defense is just really good. Oregon's I don't like Oregon. I like the quarterback. I just don't like Oregon. What do you guys got on that one?
Yeah, I got Oregon sneaking through this one. Texas Tech is nice. Their defense is solid. I think just Oregon has enough firepower to get by them.
I'm just going to go with the best defense that money can buy, and that is in Texas Tech. They spent a lot of money on that defense. They spent a lot of money on that team. I got them. I mean, they beat the crap out of was it BYU twice? I think Oh man, BYU wasn't no punk.
Yeah, we're not Oregon.
But I mean, you're right. But I just think that Oregon, beat the crap out of a group of 5 team.
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to do that to Texas Tech.
I mean, none of the first round games are you really taking a lot of info from, right?
Right.
Because you got like legit Power 5 teams, and then you're going against group of 5 teams. You're like, one thing's not like the other. Like, so yeah, you would expect that that first round tends to be some beatdowns.
Yeah. I mean, if Oregon does sneak through this game, I think Dante Moore is going to be the guy for real getting past this. I mean, he's already one of the projected number 1 picks as quarterback in the draft, even ahead of Mendoza. But if he gets past this, it's definitely going to have to be riding on his arm, I feel. If they're going to win this.
Yeah, the offense is going to have to come to life for sure.
And feet. Yes.
And feet, yes.
Exactly.
All right, and then we got Alabama going against Indiana. I got Indiana. Alabama barely escaped the last game. I think Indiana's just going to pummel them. I don't know. That's just me.
No, I got Indiana there too. Honestly, I don't think Alabama should have been in the playoff to begin with.
Yeah, that's the concern.
Notre Dame should have been in their spot. But I'm going to say rolled up damn tide because they're going to get rolled up.
Yep, low tide. Low tide.
Yes, low tide.
They're going to need some tide to clean that dirt out their jersey. They're going to get blood stopped.
Pretty much.
And we got Ole Miss at Georgia, another game. I just don't see Ole Miss winning this one. I think Georgia's going to go nuts on them.
I don't know.
Hey,
Ole Miss. What's up, Sonia?
Hey.
Ole Miss they're deep. They're deep in with a lot of good players, but I agree with you. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I think Georgia will squeak by in the win, even as dominant as they've been. Ole Miss is not that. Sorry, I think the biggest thing is, can they do it without Lane Kiffin being there? And they almost have all of the offensive coaching staff there and defensive coaching staff there, except Lane Kiffin. He's the only one not there, and so everybody is impacted, including Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator. So I think they're going to make it close. Because they got some weapons on that offense, and so they'll make it close. But I think Georgia's still going to win, maybe by 3 or 4.
Yeah, Ole Miss is they're a scrappy team, so it's going to be competitive, no doubt. But yeah, I have Georgia pulling this one off too. It's not going to be the blowout that some of the people have talked about, but yeah, it'll probably be like a 7-point game, something like that.
All right, and some college bowls that are going on right now. In the Citrus Bowl, Michigan has just scored a touchdown and went ahead of Texas 27-24. Kind of surprised to see that, considering all the things that are going on with the Michigan program. But I guess the kids, are on a different level, so that's a good thing, I guess. In the Sun Bowl, the Arizona Sun Devils are beating the Duke Blue Devils. I should call it the Devil Bowl. Well, the Duke is beating Arizona.
I was going to say Duke is ahead.
42-39. And in the Las Vegas Bowl, number 15 Utah is destroying Nebraska 38-14.
Yeah.
So there you go for the bowl games of today.
And shout out to our buddy Tipton.
Tipton, yeah, doing the Sun Bowl.
Out there working
the game. Good job.
The Volunteers fall to Illinois, and a buddy of mine is on that staff. And so at the end of that game, right, Illinois, they're on the 6, first down, 2 minutes to go. And instead of just letting them score and getting the ball back, they stuff them and they kick a field goal to lose that game. I think with that amount of time left, because there was like a minute 56 with that first down, just let the guy score, right? You're up by a point. Then you get the ball back. You have one timeout. You have 2 minutes. Just methodically go down and win by a point. But instead, they tried to stuff them. But, I mean, even the guys on the panel can kick a field goal from the 6. So, yeah, it was unfortunate.
And that's the reason why they play the games. No, I kind of figured Illinois was going to win that game anyway. But, it is what it is. And if they have a chance, they have a chance. Shifting a little bit to the National Football League, we got a lot of news off the field. One of them was Trayvon Diggs has gone to Green Bay after release from Dallas. Yep. As much maligned last season here with Dallas, he's got released. You want to say that it culminated with him not boarding the plane with the rest of the team when they left the Washington Commanders game. It's protocol, shopping center. I'm going to refer to him as shopping center because Sonia loves that term for the head coach for Dallas. He said that the protocol is everybody comes home.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of players that asked for that same thing, and none of them got that same wish granted. So it's protocol for everybody to come home first. That's the protocol. Trayvon decided he didn't want to follow protocol. He stayed back, and I guess he, met his family, blah, blah, blah. And that's just that was just the icing on the cake, I think, that you said before, Bo, of his tumultuous, year that he's had. Tenure, yeah. Well, it started off well, obviously. But as time went on,
here's the thing with it. Like, even if you overlook the lack of effort plays that we saw early in this season, right? And you ignore how much noise he made while he was injured. And so, I mean, you're already given tons of reasons why this was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You also, probably the biggest red flag out of all of it is when you remember early on in his career, he was creating a ton of turnovers, right? But he was never in the conversation for defensive player of the year because he's not that good in coverage. So you had this upside of him being able to get turnovers, but he gave up a lot of yards and scores and everything, right? So you fast forward to after he signs his contract and he doesn't have those upside plays anymore, but is still a liability in coverage. Then you add lack of effort chasing a play down. And then you add all the noise and getting hurt and then being public about not liking what's going on. And then you, like you said, icing on the cake, you don't come back with the team. And I mean, there were so many things that led to it. And you know how much you have to make a team mad for them to just eat 3 years of a contract you just signed, because his contract goes through 2028.
Mm-hmm.
So they're on the hook for a cap hit of $97 million. Now, tons of that wasn't guaranteed, but the cap hit's the cap hit, right? So it may not be real money leaving, but it is real money that you can't spend on other players.
Yep.
So it's pretty wild. And then for them to just out and out cut him, that's even crazier, right? Because that means Green Bay gets to go pick him up.
And with
the cost of $492,000.
Yeah, for
one game. I mean, they're going to the playoffs too, so he gets to play a little bit more. But the thing is, there must be some upside, or why would you get him unless you know you can get him for cheap, and then pay him, like you said, $490,000 for per game. It's just crazy.
They do have some injuries, so I mean, it's a move that kind of makes sense for Green Bay. Plus, he knows people on that roster, on that staff.
Well, Micah,
exactly. And one of the coaches, like he's been with before. So I mean, some of those things obviously go his way, but so it could be great. It could just be injecting a cancer into the organization.
Yep.
Green Bay slowly turning into Dallas.
Yeah, right. I mean, if Dallas is cutting you, like, how bad is the situation?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sure if they keep him this year, he'll have the job next year. I mean, they really do need cornerback help.
Yeah.
Green Bay is really bad right now with their corners. I mean, when you say Nate Hobbs is your best corner, that's not telling. That's actually telling you a lot right there.
I mean, there's a reason their record is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, to answer that person's question, unless the situation was just like tumultuous, where he's something off the field, where they really just can't play him. He's got some history where, like you said, Bo, where he's caught, like X amount of interceptions. He has some history of ball hawking ability. So somebody's going to want to test the market on that. And if they can do it for cheap, why not? So he's, I mean, it's not like he was a total scrub. I mean, like you said, he got a $98 million contract.
Yep.
So
he's
somebody's going to take a chance on him.
You're also looking at a scenario where this is the next team, right? So anytime there's a player that with their current team, it's kind of not going well, they fall into that, next girlfriend that's like, I can fix him, right? It's usually when there's a history of it that then teams are less interested. But since he's going from a situation that devolved with Dallas, that there was quite a few of those this year, there's going to be some teams out there that are like, oh, you know what? Maybe he just had this fall off because the situation there was just untenable and, it affected the gameplay, but he'll be better in our system. And, we'll see. Or he may be that exact same dude.
I mean, I can give you an example of somebody with baggage. I mean, he has baggage, but I think at the same time he has talent. I mean, we're talking about Jacoby Meyer. Jacoby Meyer was with the Patriots, had baggage, went to the Raiders, played decent and sometimes had baggage. The situation was bad, and then went to the Jaguars, and now he's their leading receiver there right now. And he's probably supposed to be their number 2, but he's not his number 1. And with that said, they gave him a contract. So, I mean, maybe something comes out next year where he's not happy with the situation in Jacksonville, and he starts acting out. But the thing is, he's on a team that's winning. So you kind of know what you got. You gave a player a contract, so you better win, because if you don't win, he might start acting out again, And so
he could go the DK route, and he's just the exact same guy on whatever roster he's on.
Yep.
Yeah, speaking of, that was a good segue to his brother, Stephon Diggs, who was allegedly charged with
That's right.
felony strangulation.
You almost need a little graphic on the screen.
Yeah, allegedly. He was allegedly charged. Well, he was charged, but with alleged felony strangulation and assault to a caterer who came forward with this information.
That's what I thought.
I thought the point was here that, Keith was talking about this early too on his show about Stephon Diggs. And he did it in a text too, which is hilarious because he said, get rid of him.
Yep.
That guy. Yep. So it probably will come to that.
I mean, he's on a proven deal. He's on a proven deal.
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal. Yeah,
So to answer that question down there, yes. Yeah, I could just mention that the Saints, if they technically, if they beat Atlanta, they will be 4-2 within the division, but they are still eliminated from playoff contention because of their overall record. But yes, they will be tied with if Tampa wins, they'll be 4-2, and or Carolina wins, they'll be 4-2, and the Saints win, they'll be 4-2. but I can go over the scenarios whenever we're ready about talk about that.
We're getting there. We just like talking about Stephon Diggs. So it was not a good week for the Diggs brothers. That's for sure. Not a good week.
Yeah, but
they're allegedly digging a hole for themselves.
Yes, they are. They are allegedly doing that.
How much about either one of these stories shocked and amazed you? Or were you like, yeah, no, that tracks?
With these two, no. I guess the apple doesn't fall. Well, I don't know about their parents, so I can't say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But
we are. I can say speak for all of us when we are all allegedly not surprised.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's pretty bad. So,
and to answer your question, Rob, punishment for next year will only come out if this actually plays out in the public eye. Mm-hmm. If there is if there's no video, which doesn't sound like there is, this is a he said, she said, there's going to be a settlement behind the scenes. Soon as the season's over, you'll never hear about it again. That is my bet of how this goes. And he'll be on a team next year also.
Well, there is sort of video evidence where she's taking pictures of the marks that were left on her.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that part.
Yeah.
So there's pictures of the bruising. So that's different.
Yes. Yeah. Pictures of the bruising. That's part of it. In fact, we had that talk with Sonia too, because Sonia was involved with that conversation. And she said, yeah, they have pictures of it. So they have pictures of it.
Okay.
But do you have my question with that is, do you have proof that he created?
Right. Well, that would be the other flip of the coin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had to go by whatever is presented in a court of law. So whatever it is.
Now, to be fair, if Diggs is like, nah, she fell down the stairs, I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what?
When she fell down the stairs, were you behind her? That's all I need to know.
Right.
Well, allegedly. All right, James, go ahead with your playoff scenarios, because I think that's what Robert was wanted your take on that whole situation.
Okay, so I will start with the Carolina Panthers Tampa Bay playoff game that's coming on Saturday. Carolina is in a situation, and Tampa Bay is in a situation where they win and they're in. But there is a situation. Let's go to Tampa first. If Tampa wins, they're still going to need help. Tampa has to win outright, and because they're 8-8, and they have 9-8. Oh no, I'm sorry. What are they?
8-9.
They're
8-9.
Oh,
8-9. Wow.
No. Sorry,
they're 7-9.
There we go. They're 7-9.
They're 7-9. Yes. So they have to win, and they have to have help from New Orleans to beat Atlanta, because if Atlanta wins, they'll be in a three-way tie, or if the Panthers win. So if the Panthers win, they win outright. If the Panthers win, they win outright. If the Panthers lose, there's still some evidence that if Atlanta wins, the Panthers will still win, because it'll be a three-way tie with Atlanta, Carolina, and Tampa Bay. So there's that. So Tampa needs to win, and they need New Orleans to win in order to win a division and go into the playoffs. Carolina just needs to win, and they're in. And if they lose, they need Atlanta to win, and then there's a three-way tie, and they're in.
Yeah. Which would make them also the third division all time to get into the playoffs with a losing record.
That division is just nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. When they say South, they mean like below the gut, below the belt.
Right. That's the record. It's
South. Straight flushed down the toilet.
Yeah, to have a three-way tie at 8-9 is wild.
Yes, exactly. Let's go to the AF. Let's stick with the NFC. So NFC, Seahawks.
Yep.
So the Seahawks are 13-3, and they're playing the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
How to clinch? They need to win or tie, and that's it. If they win or if they tie, they clinch the NFC West and they get the number 1 seed. If the 49ers win, they will clinch the number 1 seed as well, and they will win the NFC West. So it's just winning in. That's it. Win in and get the number 1 seed out between those 2 teams.
What's wild for the Niners is if they win, they have home field advantage through the Super Bowl.
That's crazy. Yes.
So that would be nuts.
There's a lot riding on this game.
Absolutely.
Yep. Let me see who you got. Carolina and Tampa. So I usually try to reserve my picks for either Friday or Sunday, but I will tell you since you asked, because that's coming up Saturday. So I'm going to go with Carolina. I just don't see Tampa Bay to be in a situation to lose all of those games, and then all of a sudden now they're going to win. They're just going to beat Carolina. I just don't think they have it in them. I think, and even the coach Todd Bowles said that they got to be better at the quarterback position. He said that. He's talking about Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has an AC joint injury in his non-throwing arm, but I mean, he's just been off with his receivers, and they just haven't been good in that area. And it's crazy because this guy started off at the beginning of the season on a tear, looking like he's going to be an MVP, and they just fell off. They do, but the receivers are back now. It's not like they, Mike Evans and what's the guy's name? The number 14. What's the receiver's name? Out of Penn State. He has a lot of injuries all the time.
Godwin.
Oh yeah, Godwin. Thank you. Yes, yes, Godwin. Ibuka, they're all out there, and everybody has injuries. I mean, it's just what it is, man. It's just something's up. Something's up. I mean,
line injuries though.
Yeah, I mean, Tristan Wirfs is out. But I mean, man,
there are other ones out for the
season. That. My team, New Orleans, has no interior offensive line. The center's gone. I mean, it's just we're still winning. I don't want to hear it. I mean, and we don't have all our wide receivers, and we got like dudes that's like off the streets that have played that scoring touchdowns, man, with Tyler Shutt. So I just don't want to hear that. You just got to figure it out. Like that's the coach. Coach didn't want to hear that. You got to figure it out, man, and try to win. But I don't think they're going to do it though. I don't think they're going to do it against Carolina.
I don't think they do either. But for sheer entertainment value, a Saints win and a Bucks win would be hilarious.
Oh, you know it. Trust me.
just for our group chat. Just for the group chat. That's what I'm saying. I think that would be hilarious. I think there might be a really quiet element within that group chat.
Hey, oh my goodness. And for our viewers out there who don't know what Bo is talking about, one of our panelists is a total diehard killer Panther fan. When they say keep pounding, she's got gloves on and she will come at you with claws. The Panther claws coming through the gloves will light you up if you say anything about our Panthers.
It was funny though, because there was a lot of talk before that Seattle game, and then it got real quiet in there. I know you're watching.
And she's watching.
Oh my goodness, boy! She got a file right now, sharpening up those claws.
She's just sitting there sharpening the blades.
On one of them old school mills, one of them old school sharpeners. You just see sparks everywhere. What? All right, so man, look. Let me see other ways of winning and clinching. Let's see the Ravens versus the Steelers. That's going to be a great matchup there. I mean, it came down. I was hoping that the Steelers would lose, and I picked them to lose against the Cleveland Browns. They did. Now it's going to come down to the wire. This is what the game is about. This is what football is all about. The only problem is I don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to play.
He practiced.
Bodie, he did practice today.
Yeah, it sounded questionable.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's what they said. It was
questionable, where it's like, oh yeah, it's questionable, but this dude's going to play. It sounds like legitimately there's a chance he doesn't. There's a lot of
they are in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Either way, if the Ravens win, they're in. If the Steelers win, they're in. It's just that simple. So I'm going to go with the Ravens here, and I think Derrick Henry coming off a 36 carry game, which the game before he didn't have any in the fourth quarter or whatever for whatever reason. You need to give him the ball, especially if Lamar has the threat of running himself. That should change everything, the whole trajectory of the game. Give him the ball. He's got 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns, man. It's crazy. Give that man the ball, and I think the Ravens win this one. I think the Ravens, I believe so.
If he loses to Huntley, no doubt. So I am absolutely with you there. I think the Ravens get it done. Hand Derrick Henry the ball. Like the fact that they lost the game before because they didn't give it to him the last 8 minutes of the game, and he was tearing off 7 yards a carry, and you don't even have him on the field as a decoy. I mean, that was grounds for everybody on the coaching staff getting fired. Like that didn't make any sense at all. So then you give him a whole bunch of carries, and guess what? You win. It's crazy. It's almost like everyone on the planet knows this except their coaching staff. So I would imagine in a win and get in game, they will be run heavy, especially against a defense that isn't particularly good, really expensive, but not a great defense. I think they win that. And then the first round of the playoffs, they abandon the run.
Like they usually do. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah, I just everything's kind of piling on Pittsburgh right now. Losing Metcalf is one thing for his idiocy, but then they have their rookie tight end. He's not going to play either. The big boy, he's not playing. So that's to me that's really a loss too for their offense. Mm-hmm. So and they didn't look very good when they played Cleveland either. I mean, Cleveland has good defense, but it was like Rodgers couldn't really find too many people out there. So, but
that Metcalf punch is going to be talked about all next season in the offseason.
So they did do something that I was a little surprised about. They opted not to void any of his guaranteed money. So they are showing their faith in DK of, hey, all of that guaranteed money that we could take away, we're not. And so, so to answer your question there, Rob, their plan is to move forward with him. So, I mean, we'll see.
But they can, I mean, when you said not to void, meaning they're still going to play him and pay him, but they could take it away if something else happens, right?
Well,
is that what you're saying? Or?
No. So the way that it's laid out is because of that punch, they could have taken it away right now. They could have taken away the guaranteed money. Now, he could still earn it, right? That doesn't mean you're kicked off the team. It just means that if anything happens, you wouldn't get the money if they didn't want to give it to you. They opted to not do that. So they opted to keep his guarantees in place.
So they changed their mind, is what you're saying.
No.
It's I thought initially they went with the void.
No, it was just it was just highly talked about because it was an element of just NFL contracts in general, that if you have anything that's detrimental to the team, codes of conduct, all of that, it immediately.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I'm sorry to cut you off, but from what I mean, all the different sources, they said that, I mean, maybe they were wrong, but they said that they elected to void the contract, but they were still going to let him play. And obviously he'll get the money, but I mean, he would, but it wasn't. No, I'm saying not void. Excuse me. The guarantee is not guaranteed anymore. The money's not guaranteed. I'm sorry. That's what it is. It's just not guaranteed anymore.
They opted to keep the guarantees in place, but because of the action, why it got talked about so much is it immediately made it available for them to void any guaranteed money if they wanted. So it wasn't to indicate that they decided to do that. It's just the way NFL contracts are written. If you have anything like that is a code of conduct issue, it can void guaranteed money and they can kick you off the team if they want. It's why they kept searching for things with Deshaun, but because everything kept getting settled, nothing came to the forefront and they didn't quite have enough to actually get out of that contract. So This one, there was enough, a lot of video evidence, but they opted not to. So
lucky him.
On this on this question here, Robert, we will get to that too, because that is one of the guys that is on a hot seat. We'll be talking about later. But go ahead, James.
All right, next team is the Denver Broncos at 13-3. What a difference time makes, and the head coach and the decision to get rid of a high-price, high-profile quarterback and draft one. Look, Sean Payton caught a lot of flack for doing what he did to Russell Wilson, but they are 13-3 with Bo Nix and that defense, and they are primed to win the number 1 seed if they win against the LA Chargers. New England loses versus Miami, and the Jags lose versus the Titans. That's going to be a tough one to get, because I don't think New England is losing. They understand what they're vying for as well. And the Jaguars, I think, is going to be tough for them, because I mean, for the Broncos, I think the Jaguars are going to probably win against the Titans as well. So regardless of whether or not the Broncos win or lose, they're still going to win a division, and I'm pretty sure they're going to try to win that game. And they'll probably be vying for the 2nd seed. So, yeah. You guys got anything about that?
No, I mean, that's kind of the way I see it. The Broncos are gonna be able to handle business probably. I don't trust them in the playoffs so much. And the only reason I say that is the offense doesn't really get going until the 4th quarter typically. That is not a sustainable way to play in the playoffs. So hopefully they can kind of figure out how to play 4 quarters of offense. But if they don't, it'll be a short-lived run.
Yeah, and they're playing the Chargers without Aber. They benched. They didn't bench him, but he's sitting out this game. So
should the Eagles be the 1st seed? I mean,
their record's not even close to being the 1st seed option. Right? Exactly. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, they're playing the 2nd or 3rd. Like that. That's all that's on the line there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. You go. No, go ahead.
You're good. No, so, all right, so are you going to this one next? The second one for the NFC?
No. Okay. No. I was just going with the teams that actually have something to vie for. You know, I mean, Eagles already have the biggest thing they were looking for was the division lockup. They got that locked up. There's nothing really they're playing for. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I mean, so that's a good question for that person to ask. But yeah, there's no way they're 11-5. There's another person, whoever that was, new. So yeah, Houston Texans versus the Colts. So they're trying to clinch the AFC South, and they get it with a win and a Jags loss. So if the Jags lose and they win, they get the AFC South title, and vice versa. The Jags are 12-4, a win and a number 1 seed for them. They're playing for. The Jags are actually playing for, which is crazy to even think about. They're a year ago they were terrible, and now they're 12-4. Liam Cohen has got that team winning, and they're believing, and now they got believers out of you guys. Some of you, I don't know how they're going to do in the playoffs, but they actually, and they're doing this without their 1st-round draft pick in Travis Hunter. So they look really good. And then Brian Thomas Jr., he doesn't look all that great. He's probably got the most drops in the league, but they're still winning, man. They're 12-4. And again, if they win, they'll win the AFC South. And if the Broncos and the Patriots lose, they get the number 1 seed. That's interesting. I think that's a big time scenario. That'd be lucky if that were to happen. But they're going to win. I think the Jags are going to win their division. I think if they got to play the Colts. If they lose to the Colts, why even going to the playoffs? But they should win this game, and I think should get the AFC South.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rabbi. Like Denver has a very real path to get the number 1 seed, and so does Seattle, because if they win, they have the number 1 seed. Denver, if they win and there's a Patriots loss, they get the number 1 seed. So I'm not sure what you're talking about there.
Yeah, the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks are the only ones that are vying for the number 1 seed, and pretty much that game in the NFC is going to tell who's the number 1 seed. That's it. There's nobody else that can contend with that. That's it. Yep. Let's see, the Patriots versus the Dolphins, 13-3. Win and the Broncos loss, they get the number 1 seed. the Broncos lose, they get the number 1 seed. If they win, they already got the division sewed up. But pretty much that's it. They're trying to clinch the number 1 seed. I think they're going to win, but I don't know if the Broncos lose. I think the Broncos are going to win their game versus the Chargers. But,
yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's just what it is. How about you, Bo? I mean, not Bo, but Beast Driller.
Well, I don't see the Seattle-San Francisco game is going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, for Seattle to clinch the number 1 spot. San Francisco's playing. I don't even know what they're playing on right now. Somebody's got to test the water there because I don't understand how they're winning all these games. But it's amazing for them. But I like Seattle. Seattle's got a really good defense. I mean, a really good defense. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I know Bo points out the shortcomings on the offense, but I feel that if you have enough, you can churn up enough offense to beat that deep. I mean, you got to remember something about San Francisco. Chicago was moving up and down the field on that defense with ease, pretty much. So I just got to point that out because, everybody says, oh, the defense has been winning them games. Not that game. It was the offense that won in that game. They got lucky on a stop, and Chicago had to kick a field goal, and that was the difference between because that was you had to score touchdowns in that game. You couldn't score field goals.
Well, and that's actually why I like Seattle in this game is Sam Darnold struggles when there is a real pass rush. And that's the one thing San Fran doesn't have. Once Warner and Bosa were done for the year, they just didn't have I mean, if you look at their numbers after those guys went down, they're roughly, I think they're like 23rd at pass rush, which is terrible, right? Now, the rest of their team is playing lights out. Their offense is playing off the charts. Seattle has the number 2 overall defense. So, we'll see what that looks like. But the fact that there's not a good pass rush really falls into helping Darnold out. And that's why I think Seattle can get that one done.
So 2 injuries here I want to know about are players specifically for each team. Yeah. For the Seattle Seahawks, Rashid Shaheed, his status. Is he back or is he not back?
He is not. He's
not back.
And the fact that this is a Saturday game kind of goes against his ability to get back, which is, it's unfortunate on the offensive side. It is a huge hit to their special team.
Yes, exactly. What about for the 49ers? What about Kittle?
Kittle also sounds like he may not make it back. So there are 2 heavy hitters on those 2 teams that are likely to miss this particular game.
Yeah, Denver.
Is this the same person?
13-3. Yes, 13-3.
Yeah. So the fact that you're asking about the record makes me think that you're not really watching football too much.
Or you're not typing in Google. I mean, what's going on here, man? What?
You can't say these guys have no chance and then also not know the records, because if you knew the records, you'd know that they're the only ones that have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Kittle's been game to game, I think. He didn't play last game either. It didn't stop San Francisco from going up and down the field, though. And this is the thing about Chicago. When they get in the playoffs, their defense is going to be the telltale sign. Like I said, turnovers are good. They did get a nice pick 6 off of Purdy, but Purdy just still running up and down the field on them, and they were moving the ball with little or no effort. And I think that's Chicago's defense is just not that good.
Yes, but that game came down to the wire. I mean, to the last play in the end zone. I mean, I just think that they're playing, like you said, I mean, check the water, but I mean, 49ers are really playing on, like, they're just playing. It's like, to me, they're just like termites right now, holding hands in the house. So at some point they're going to let go. You know what I mean? It's at some point it's going to all come falling down because they're just not a complete team. But because you got to give like this, Kyle Shanahan is probably up for coach of the year because of what he's done with the limitations of players and the people that he has. The personnel is just not optimal. Let's just put it that way, to say the least. And they're still winning.
There's some major questionable people for the Niners. So CMC has a back injury. That would be a huge hit. Even if he plays, if he's not 100%, like he's been a large portion of this offense. Kittle has an ankle injury, and so that is, obviously a real concern. He's been limited even in the games he's played in. Pearsall with a knee injury. That one, he adds some elements
that
to
hurts.
that team, And then the other one is Trent Williams having a hamstring injury is huge.
He's out?
Yeah, he's questionable. But with a guy that needs to be able to move like a Trent Williams at tackle, hamstrings have a tendency to re-aggravate. And
against Seattle's defense.
Correct. That's the question mark, right? Like if you aren't able to move the way you normally move, that could be a very real problem. Now on Seattle's side, obviously Shaheed, concussion, they have him listed as questionable. I would bet money that Shaheed is out. Offensive tackle Charles Cross, also hamstring injury. He did miss last week, and that is a real problem. Now, obviously, San Fran doesn't have a great pass rush with the injuries they have, but anytime you're missing your starting tackle, it's not a good deal. So hopefully he's at least back. But we have another offensive tackle, Josh Jones, also questionable. So like there's some very real issues with the offensive line. And, so they're really going to want to win this game because they need that bye week to get some of these guys back. And then Kobe Bryant, knee injury, he's listed as questionable. I would bet he's doubtful.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with Robert. Just some things you can't get around, like a concussion. That's just almost a given that you're not gonna play unless you're breaking
on a shorter week.
Yes, exactly. I'm pretty sure
this guy must just be trolling at this point because that makes no sense. Like he is winning with the least amount possible. I mean, this guy's had half of his team injured.
Should be
who is the
coach of the year?
You need a picture, Robert. You need a picture so I can see you and see if it's like a handyman from in Living Color. Because I mean, it doesn't sound right there, man. That's just not. Homie don't play that. So I would say it's not homie. That's goofy take.
Yeah.
So those are all the clinching. Those are all the clinching options there in games. That's a bad word there. I don't know.
Maybe never mind.
Yes, exactly.
I was going to go somewhere else with that one. Speaking of coaches of the year, some pretty good candidates out there for it. Kyle Shanahan be one of them. Ben Johnson be another one. Mike Vrabel. Does anybody else you want to throw in there? Because those are the three I think that are real strong candidates for it.
Liam Cohen.
Yeah, that's the
Liam's got to be in there. Vrabel, I think, is in the driver's seat of this thing. I mean, going from worst to first, and not just first in your division, but could be first in the conference. I mean, I don't know that you could have asked him to do more with that team than he's done. So I would say he's probably in the driver's seat. Liam Cohen definitely in that conversation.
Maybe Sean Payton.
Ben Johnson certainly in that
Ben
conversation.
Johnson for sure, yeah.
Ben Johnson also his team went from worst to first.
McDonald's probably in that conversation when you figure everybody had a prediction of 6 wins for the Seahawks this year. So, I mean, there's some guys that are really going after it, but I think that Vrabel's probably that winner. Also, it makes the Titans look super dumb.
Yep. Which is always an additional plus to that. But yeah, I think I got Vrabel up there. I mean, you can't dismiss Kyle Shanahan. That dude, he did a lot for that on that team. I mean, that team went through a lot of stuff, and they're still just trucking out wins.
You know who? So he probably doesn't get Coach of the Year, but I bet John Lynch gets GM of the Year because he has brought in depth that we didn't even know were there. Right. Like he's found a way to find gems all over the place. And so every time it's been next man up, they've been dudes. Like he's been hitting on all kinds of stuff. As a Seahawk fan, super frustrating. But as a football fan, it's impressive.
You guys got any dark horses that could be in the running
for Coach of the Year?
Yeah.
Like I said, Sean Payton, he's probably not going to be up there with the rest of those guys because of how much of a transition or like what they've done through obstacles, like Kyle Shanahan. But I think the Broncos, man, they just in that division, they're at the top, and they're going for the first seed too as well. So they weren't doing that in the last couple of seasons.
I mean, it's got to be Pete Carroll locking up that number 1 overall pick.
Which is a good segue to the next thing that we're going to be talking.
He's going to find a stallion head on his bed, like in The Godfather.
Real.
I have got 10 NFL coaches on a hot seat, and my question to you two gentlemen were: should they be fired? A, or will they be fired? B. First one is Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Who you got? Do you think he should be fired, or will he be fired?
So first,
yeah. I'll jump on this one. So I don't think he gets fired. He might walk away, but I don't think he gets fired. And the only reason I say that is the Raiders don't really do that too much. This was the first year as kind of a hodgepodge of a roster. I would imagine they give him another crack at it. He might walk away, though, considering when you look at this thing, they look like they are further away than we all thought they were going to be. I don't know if he's going to want to stick around for what potentially is kind of a longer rebuild process. I don't know if he's your guy for that. So he may want to walk away, but, they weren't even what we thought they'd be. We thought they would be a bad team, but like fun to watch. And instead they were just a dumpster fire from ribbon to ribbon. Right. So I don't know if he's equipped to go through a legitimate rebuild time wise. So I don't know that he gets fired, but he still may not be there.
I'm going to go a different way. I don't think he gets fired, and I think he still wants to coach. You're a fan of Seattle, and look at how they built that system there, and what they did, and how the outcome came out. You went to 2 championships, you won 1, you built that defense up. I just think that it's going to take time. They're in the ground situation. I understand Pete Carroll is an older guy now, but if that's the case, why would he take that job? I mean, knowing that they weren't going to be all that great in the beginning, they got the running back. Seemingly, I know he didn't play all that great, but he's actually playing pretty decent for the line that he has. He's playing, that offensive line is horrible. And I think it's not like Geno Smith was some scrub in Seattle. He wasn't. He was actually a really good quarterback there. And so I think a lot of this is based off of that offensive line and how bad it is. It's just really bad there. They need to shore that up, get that offensive line straight.
That Raiders perform too, because that defense is better than they looked.
Yes, exactly. I think so. And I think a lot of injuries hit everybody, but that offensive line is the biggest thing. And you didn't have a good wide receiver core there. You got excellent tight ends in Meyer and Brock Bowers. 2 first rounders back to back. Yep. If you're going to keep those guys, man, you got to make sure that you can have an offensive line so a quarterback can stay up on his feet and throw the ball to them. So I just think that they're going to build. I think Pete Carroll's going to stay there. I think he's going to stay. And I wouldn't be surprised if he, I'd be surprised if he left because of what they're trying to do there. So I think he's going to stay.
They, for all intents and purposes, are going to have the number 1 pick because they're not even trying to win games now. They've made that abundantly clear. So,
sitting down Brock Bowers and Max Crosby.
Exactly.
And Max Crosby was not happy about that.
Geno's not taking the field either. So, they're not even trying to win. So I bet they use that number 1 overall pick to go get a QB. And that's why I say, I think Pete's going to be there. If there was any scenario where he was gone, it's because he wanted to go. I don't think they fire him. But I agree with you. I think he wants to coach as long as it's going to be a faster turnaround.
Yeah, I'd say he should be fired, but they won't fire him because I don't see too many teams firing. You got to be really terrible 0-16 or 0-7. I mean, go 0-17. That's the only time I would basically fire a first-year coach. They just were really that terrible. But yeah,
but you don't think he's earned the respect to not get fired? You don't think he's earned the respect to not get fired?
That's what I'm saying. He won't be fired. Yeah. And realistically, he won't be fired. I think he should, because he's not doing. He's actually made the team digress. They were actually better last year, and they were this year.
They were better with O'Connell.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's the one thing that's different about this scenario than coming to Seattle is when he came to Seattle, he was coming directly from the college ranks. So he was able to get low-level guys later in the draft that he'd seen, had better information on than just like normal scouts and stuff. So that's where they had such success when they started, and it started to trail off as more time went on because he was getting further and further away from the college ranks. He's not going to have that benefit going to the Raiders because he didn't have those years going into that job, right? So I don't know that he's going to have that same jump that Seattle did with him, but I mean, he's a good coach. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
The next coach on the chopping block is Raheem Morris for the Falcons. Should they be fired, or will they fire him? Go ahead, James. That's coach right in your own division there.
Well, let me say, Arthur Blank was on the field Monday in the second half of the game. He's like, "You better win, coach." That's not, and that, to all you out there, that's not what he said to the coach. So don't go out spreading rumors. Yeah. But that's the look that he had.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So when he comes down out of the box and he comes on the field, it's usually when they're not winning. And they won by the skin of their teeth, literally, with the last-minute field goal. And they had an opportunity. The Rams had opportunities to win that game. So if he loses against the Saints, I think that they go a different direction, and they may keep the offensive coordinator and promote him, and Zach Robinson. That's the way I think they would go, because I think Zach has shown some things that he can improve, that he's improved as an offensive coordinator, but a lot of issues are that you're going to, unfortunately, you're going to base on the head coach. You're going to put it on the head coach. And I think there was a lot of issues that they should have won a lot of close games. And it seemed like a lot of mismanagement. And I just got to blame the head coach. And I think he gets fired if they lose this next game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even have to go into too much analysis on this. When you watch what he's done over the last couple of years, he's minimized the talent. He hasn't maximized the situation. He has minimized even utilizing the talent on the roster. So there's definitely a strong case for him to get fired.
Yeah, there you go. I love that. It shine like poop covered penny in a Creektown gutter. Yeah, that's pretty much what the defense is from Michigan right now. Hey, Joe. Happy New Year's. Oh, yeah, by the way, Sonia just texted me. She's like, I wish you guys would. I said Happy New Year, you guys. You just said hello to me.
Oh, funny.
Happy New Year, Sonia.
We got to make sure we say Happy New Year's to you, because
Well, and of course, Joe is in Italy, so it's already New Year's for him.
Oh, yeah.
Happy New Year's, Joe.
Yeah, he should be fired anyway. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I think he should be fired, and they will fire him, because he's just not. It's some defensive coordinators can't be head coaches. I think he's a great defensive coach if that's the only thing he's got to focus on. But as a head coach, no, he's not doing a very good job at all, especially with the roster he has.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to go right.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a couple of surprises on here too for you there, Bo. Todd Bowles for the Bucks. Should they fire him, or should he be fired, or will they fire him?
They will not fire him. I mean, they were in the conversation to win, and they had spent half the year without any weapons. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how much more you expected him to do. Now, if everybody was healthy and he did what he did, you could make that conversation. But based on the fact that they spent half the year with no receivers, I don't know how you fire him.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that. I think that it's just a situation that was bad luck, but I don't know. I mean, I think the quarterback is where the problem is right now, and I don't know how you fix that right now. I think part of it might be injury. It may be bothered by the AC joint, but they look bad in these last few games, and so they lost some really close games, and it's just they're probably going to be out of the playoffs this year. But saying that, prior to that, they won what 3 or 4 straight, 4 straight division titles in a row. So you don't fire a guy just for like having bad luck, and I think Bowles' job is safe for this season.
Scott thinks he'll be the surprise. Yeah, I'm with you guys too. He should not be fired, and they will not fire him. The resume speaks for itself. He's got 4 NFC South titles. As hard as that is to win.
I like that you just threw that little dig in there.
But anyway, hey, it's been the truth for the last couple of years. So I mean, at least. Yeah. I'm not trying
I can attest to that.
It'll be better next year. I think with coaching changes and better rosters in this conference, I mean in that division, it'll be a better division next year.
Much more competitive, sure.
Yeah, much more competitive, and we won't be making fun of 7 and 8 or 8 and 9 teams making the playoffs.
Yeah. Scott, I think your surprise pick might actually be a McDaniel after the ownership said he's safe. The new GM comes in and says he wants a different coach.
There you go. Next guy on a supposed chopping block, allegedly, Kevin Stefanski for the Browns. Should they fire him or will he be fired?
I think he wants to get fired.
Yeah, he is showing a lot of evidence of that.
Right? Like his attitude is just like, can we just stop?
Can you just put me in front of the firing range without a blindfold, please? I'll take it without it. I mean,
right?
He just wants to.
I walk in front.
I want to see it happen. Yes, you're right. I agree. I think he wants to leave, and to answer the question, I think he's going to get fired for sure. Yeah.
There's too much awkwardness. I think he has between the pick of his quarterback and the pick of the owner's quarterback. Shadur Sanders, the Gabriel whole situation is not going to work out for the better as long as he's still there coaching.
And what's crazy is that he's 2-time coach of the year in the short time he's been there. But there's another given fact. I don't know if this plays a role in the situation. He is married to the daughter of Tim what's the guy that interviewed Deion Sanders and Deion threw the ice on him?
Yeah, that he dumped water on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's married to his daughter. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but it's just a fun fact to know. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it was like his grandpa or something, right?
No. His wife is her father. That's her father.
Oh, okay.
So that household I love to be a fly on the wall in that household. Probably hear a lot of stuff, a lot of stories.
All right. Aaron Glenn, New York Jets. Should they fire him or will he be fired?
I'll let you go, bro.
I don't think he gets fired. That was a train wreck jumping in, right? And then when you're like, hey, we're also going to give you Justin Fields. We're going to bring him to a team that has no history of cultivating talent, especially at the quarterback position. I don't know how you expected to do a whole lot. So I don't think he gets fired. I think he's gifted a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm. He's got.
And by the way,
over.
And by the way, by the trade deadline, we're going to trade 2 of your best assets on defense. Yeah. So you're
good luck with that. Go win some games. I think Garrett Wilson was a healthy off season,
I think he keeps his job too.
Yeah, I do too. First year coach. He doesn't have everybody on there. And like I keep trying to tell people, like Jack, for instance. The Lions were 13-1 when Dan Campbell first took over.
Yeah.
But you got to have a vision in seeing that. See, I don't know about the Jets front office compared to the Lions front office at the time. This is the only thing I'm kind of worried about, because I don't know how good their scouting talent is going to be and their drafting talent when they have, these number one picks. But next guy, Mike McDaniel, just mentioned him for the Dolphins.
Yep.
James, go for it.
Saved by the skin of his teeth. I think he's gonna keep his job, just barely. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think he's done enough at the end with the guys that he has. I think he's just done just enough just to keep his job for another season. The seat's going to stay warm, but he'll ride that warm seat all the way through the next season.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Like, I think he did just enough down the stretch here that he showed life in the team. The team showed fight, that they weren't giving up, that they were still about their coach. They lose Tyreek early in the year. There was a lot, Tua just not playing particularly well. So I think there was a lot of things that started to go his way as far as keeping him there. Then they get rid of the GM finally. I think that's what really solidified his ability to stay in that job, unless the new GM is like, hey, I have a guy I want. That'll be the only way McDaniel goes. If the GM coming in likes him, I think he's fine for at least this next year.
Yeah, I think he's going to stay, just based on how the front office is moving right now. Give him that chance. Zach Taylor for the Bengals. Now, he is under contract for another 2 years, keep in mind, but he doesn't have good starts. Of course, his quarterback's been hurt for a couple of those seasons, 3 of those seasons, actually. And they did get to a Super Bowl. But even with Burrow, they weren't moving the needle too much. I mean, they had that one good run, and then it just flattened out. And it's not just his fault either. I think we've had conversations about that. The fact that the front office is not putting players in there to effectively have a good defense. And they're not spending the money where they need to be spending the money on that team. But maybe it's just the fact that maybe they just need some new, refreshing, offensive-minded coach as a head coach, and that's the reason why he's on that hot seat. What do you think, Bo?
He's a coach casualty from bad GM work, right? I think the GM gets fired and should get fired because they're the ones that do all of the defensive signings, all of that, right? Like, they're the ones that bring the talent in. Coach has very little to do with that. So he probably gets fired as a result, just because they've wildly underperformed. But I don't really feel like it's his fault. With that being said, I still think he gets fired, but I think he's one of those guys that's fast-tracked to another job, because I don't think it was necessarily his doing to make them as bad as they are.
So, like the hot boys of Cash Money, the block is hot. So that seat is hot. So I think Zach is gone, man. And like you guys said, it's really not his fault. But somebody's got to fall on the sword. So it's probably going to be the GM and the head coach, and they're going to just come in with something new, especially if your quarterback's not happy. It's just time to separate and get a whole clean slate and get a new offensive coordinator, get a new head coach, get a new GM, start from scratch. The only problem is you better know you have a good replacement for him to come back in, because you got a loaded offense and a terrible defense. So you got to have somebody that knows what they're doing. I mean, I don't think he should be fired at all. Just to get that straight. I think
for sure,
the offense he's the play caller, and their offense, as long as they're healthy, they have a chance, because they're going to try to put up 35, 40 points a game.
Yep.
But man, again, not inspired. Joe's just coming off an injury, and the defense is terrible. It's just not a good situation in Cincinnati.
No, and I'm with you. I think their GM should be fired and Zach should be fine. It's just, when you watch what happens in the league, most of the time, if the GM gets fired, everybody gets fired.
Yep.
So maybe that might be the course they're going to take. If they fire him, they're going to fire the GM. Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
that franchise. I don't know what is it with these NFL franchises in Ohio, man. Is it the water there? I don't know what's going on. Anyway, next guy, another AFC North guy, John Harbaugh, the Ravens. What you got in this one, James?
He is sure making a case for himself. The fact that he cannot figure out how to use his team's strengths in the biggest moments, I don't know what's happened over the last few years, because he's largely been one of the most consistent coaches in the league. But over the last few years, when it's come down to when it really matters, they have the best running team and they abandon the run completely. Yeah, I mean, you can make the case he should be let go, which is weird to say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I just don't think it's going to be hard to replace somebody like him unless you have someone. I mean, is it? I don't know. I mean, maybe they need to go younger. They get somebody young and innovative to match with because a lot of times when there's an introduction of youth at the coaching, it gets. I mean, look at Kellen Moore. I mean, they started out pretty bad. It was just, and then injuries hit. But man, they're starting to find a stride offensively, and you got the right guy in place with Tyler Shuck. So I just think with Lamar Jackson, I know there's a lot of things coming out about him, and which I can somewhat see some of the things they're saying, but at the same time, nobody put none of this stuff out when they were winning. You know what I mean? Everything comes out when they're losing, and so it's just and so all this stuff comes out when you're losing, and you're blaming the quarterback, but the quarterback didn't fumble the ball in key moments. The quarterback didn't not catch the ball at the end of the playoff game against Buffalo. I mean, he may have done some things, but I mean, he's not. Let's not put everything on him. But that's what it is. How the game goes. When you're not doing well, they're going to find some things about the quarterback, and they're going to start blaming him. But I think Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, if they can figure their situation out, and winning cures all. They have an opportunity to win right now. He doesn't get fired if they win this game against the Steelers and they make a run in the playoffs. So, but like you guys said, he's done some things that's questionable that could get him ousted. I think he stays.
I do too. I do think he stays.
Yeah, I think he stays too. Although I think that it's time for a change of scenery for the Ravens. I really do. He has been doing some questionable stuff over the last 4 or 5 years as far as the play calling and situational football. It's like, dude, what? And the whole thing with the running back situation, I don't understand that either. But yeah, I think he'll stay.
I like this. I like this Rabbi person's comments because they are
I'm
just
not
off
even
the wall.
Right.
Would fire
like
Dan Campbell? You're out of your mind. He's the only reason they've had back-to-back double-digit winning seasons in their entire history. I don't know how you do anything like that. And then fire Howie Roseman. He's been the most consistent GM in the league as far as bringing talent in the door. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah, he's trolling. All right, another AFC South guy, Mike Tomlin for the Steelers. He's also under a 2-year contract. Got 2 years left on his contract. Go ahead, James. Look at his
I think he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
I am, man. Hold on.
It's actually the right face, though.
I like it.
Yeah, get rid of the other one.
Before and after.
Yeah, man. I'm still. Hold on.
You're good. I can hear
you.
It hasn't eliminated itself.
Echo.
You're good.
Okay.
You're probably hearing it through yours, but I don't hear it.
Yeah, I am.
I don't hear it on mine.
Okay. Well, Mike Tomlin should not be fired. I think he should retire. It's just time. It's a situation where the relationship it looks like he's just tired. There was no good moves outside of Aaron Rodgers to help this team to be, relevant. So I just and then even with offensively when they were doing better, they're just like a 9-8 team that gets ousted in the first round.
Hey, the standard's the standard. They're going to be 9-8.
Yeah, I think he should stay, but I also think he retires.
Yeah, he doesn't get fired. First, the Steelers don't do that. Like they're not ones to fire people early. And I mean, you're right there in the conversation for the division. It is going to be 9-8 again, which is hilarious. The consistency that he has. But yeah, I don't see him getting fired.
Yeah, I don't see him getting fired either, just because it's the Pittsburgh Steelers organization. They don't do that too much anyway. And then you can't really, I mean, we can sit here and Pittsburgh fans can say we need to get rid of Tom because I'm getting sick of having winning seasons and not having anything more than that.
Yeah, but
that's what I hear from a lot of. Yeah,
because you might get worse.
Yeah, true. And he's not had a losing season. You can't argue against that. You cannot argue against that for keeping him. So, yeah, I think he's relatively safe as well. And last but not least, Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals.
Fire him today, yesterday, 6 months ago.
I'm going to give him the Emperor Gladiator. He lives or dies.
You're not even waiting for the crowd. You're just like, nope.
We're just doing this on our own. Hey, I don't care what the crowd says. You're out.
Yeah, no, Gannon.
What's up, Will?
Yeah, Gannon should be gone. They haven't shown any ability with the roster that they have to win, and they're good enough to win games. They're not winning games, but their roster's good enough to win games.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good roster last year, and they just added on to it this year.
Yeah.
And it's a better roster, so they should be doing a lot better, and they're not. It's kind of like the Raheem Morris effect. You got the talent on you, you're just not winning. So
well,
yeah,
I mean,
should be gone.
And some of it is definitely falls at the feet of coaching. I mean, think of how many games that you had Marvin Harrison Jr. that was putting up points and numbers in the first half, and then they just didn't use him in the second half. And then you end up with Kyler Murray saying, it's not my job to get him the ball. And it's like, man, I feel like it kind of is, though. Like, I feel like that's your whole job as a quarterback is to get dudes the ball.
Wow, that's kind of strong there, Joe. As soon as he was born, wow.
Man.
Wow.
Because he's cheeks.
Because he's cheeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't had a coach that's worked there since Bruce Arians, though.
True.
Well, what's the coach that went to USC? No, he was the offensive coordinator with Washington.
Yeah, it's Kingsbury, but he didn't do a good job there. He didn't do a good job.
No, you're right. He didn't have one season where he was good.
Well, I mean, they start off. The thing with Kingsbury is he started off season really good, and then they just flopped near the end of the season.
Yeah, they were like 7 or 8-1 to start the year, and then they missed the playoffs. Like they completely fell apart, and then they didn't do anything after that. He gets fired, and then does some weird stuff where he went overseas, and I know it was kind of a bizarre path, and then goes to Washington, and then you get Gannon in there, and he's done absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
you're right. Gannon is pretty bad.
The Cardinals, the year that the Rams went to the Super Bowl, actually Arizona was leading that division most of the year. And they just made like a chair and folded at the end. It was bad, and if they had to play the Rams, in one of the playoff games, and I mean, they were destroying Kyle Murray back there. I was like, he was running for his life. He didn't want to be playing football at that point. Maybe that's what made him go play Call of Duty.
No, I mean, that team basically gave up. It was the weirdest thing. Like they were dominating the first half of the season, and then they just mailed it in.
Well, on that note, that is all the coaches that we have right now. That we'll probably have a surprise or two, I'm sure, on Monday and thereafter of what coach actually gets fired. But because we always do. We always have that one.
Yeah, and then
one
you have
team that wants to make an issue. Yeah. And then the surprise of the coaches that don't. just to let you know before we go, if you didn't see it before, Detroit lost. Detroit. Wow. I guess lost and Detroit are just synonymous today.
Just synonymous.
That's right. Michigan has lost to Texas 41-27. Let me see here. Miami's winning 10-3 over. Oh, wait, hold on. I got to go back up here. I got to learn how to scroll better. Miami is getting ready to play, by the way. And who else was the guy? Bowles.
Dude, you're throwing, man. You can't throw records out like that or scores out like that.
The Sun Bowl finished, and Duke had won that one 42-39 in the Battle of the Devils. And Utah destroyed Nebraska even further, 44-22. And, of course, the earlier game with Tennessee and Illinois with the win. On that note, because, I'm trying to be as much unprofessional as possible here, I can see. We fired Jerry Jones. Ain't never going to happen, buddy. Never going to happen.
Joe's a Cowboys fan. I just like that we have fire Tomlin, but keep Gannon. Like what?
Yeah, somebody's just trying to get mentioned. That's all.
I mean, this has to be a troll account.
Yeah, it is.
Without a doubt.
It's got to be. With no picture on it, too? Yeah.
For sure. I jumped over to my Twitter just to see if it was on mine, but it doesn't look like it is.
Yeah, well,
it's handy, man.
Who is this on? It's on somebody's X.
When I see the little paper clip, which usually means it's not one of the, which indicates it could be mine. But
there's somebody's X, all right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely
multiple X's.
Yeah.
On social
a lot of people dump that fire.
But on that note, gentlemen, we are going to close out the last show of 2025. I'm happy for everybody that joined us, watched us. Big things for next year. Everybody have a happy New Year's Eve, a safe one at that, and have a happy New Year's tomorrow. Watch these college games. They're going to be interesting. And watch your last week of NFL football coming up this weekend. That'll be interesting for some teams. Other teams like mine, yeah.
And our New Year's resolution is to be as unprofessional as possible in 2026.
Yeah.
Perfect. I can do this.
Right. And I'm trying my best to do it. So, you got a question here. Was one between Alabama and India. I think we cover that? Yeah, I think we said Indiana was going to probably wipe Alabama up. So, yeah.
Yep, Indiana.
There you go. Go Hawks. All right, folks. Have a good evening. See you next year.
You.